that's all we're gonna do because I don't want to get copyrighted. All right, so better late than never. We wanted to do this on Sunday. Timing didn't match up, but this is our post episode 6 kind of wrap up review of Game of Thrones from this past Sunday, and oh my goodness, right? Now, yes, admittedly, not the entire episode was filled with oh my goodness moments.
Every episode,
right? But there was a lot of good discussion. Let's just dive right into it. Right, we're going to talk about. So if you haven't watched it, do not watch this. We're definitely going to talk about a lot of this stuff in depth. Yes, if you haven't watched this past Sunday's episode of Game of Thrones, wait, or I'm not sure why you're waiting. Watch it. So we start off the trope that shouldn't be a trope. They all have reasons to hate and kill each other, basically, right? They're walking along, discussing things, and you get a little bit of backstory. We get to kind of catch up on, why Gentry is so, or Gendry, right? Gendry is so like upset with the brothers of the light, so to speak, right? I
mean, for selling him into
work, and then the whole commentary about the leeches.
Yeah, it's like getting work with leeches and everything else. But they're like, "Did you die?
But did you die?
But did you die?"
So he's still there. So obviously it wasn't a bad choice, right?
They're like, "This boy over here has died 6 times, so
and you it could be worse." Wincing, right? I think he said wincing, right?
Yeah, like wincing.
So and then we also have Jon attempting to give Longclaw trying to give Longclaw back to Mormont.
Yes. He's like, it belongs in your family. And he's like, I denounced and disgraced my family a long time ago, so he gave it to you.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
He's like, he gave it to you, so you go ahead and hang on to that.
Yeah, so which I thought was pretty cool, honorable thing to do.
Yes.
Right? So I didn't think he was going to keep the blade at all. I was like, there's no way this dude's going to take the sword from him.
Which I wonder if later on there might be a little jealousy between him and Snow because he's in love with Dany and Snow and Dany have a little connection going on.
Normally I would say yes. However, I think he's fully aware of his place.
That he's just kind of like in the friend zone. You gotta just stay there.
Ultimately friend zone, and he knows better. Like, never try again. You pretty much betrayed me. Yeah. I should probably kill you, but I'll let you stay around because you love me. Yes. So I don't think that's going to be a dynamic I think Jon will have to worry about. I mean, I think his biggest obstacle with her accepting him is just giving in to the fact that she's bonkers over this dude.
Yes.
She's like, oh my gosh, you can touch my dragon's nose.
Touch my dragon.
Right? Literally. So, and then, we have the Hound kind of bickering with Thuros.
Who talking about he's in love with Brienne Tark.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Thuros is one of the brothers of the Light, and he's talking about drinking. And then you have the Hound. Who was talking to Thermond. Thermond. Which was hilarious. Says that they both been kissed by fire. Obviously, one more than the other.
He's like, I'm a ginger.
I think the Hound was maybe like French kissed. Right?
He's like, the Hound has all this. He's like, I'm a ginger. We're touched by fire. He's like,
He's like, I fucking hate gingers. So, yeah. Obviously, by the way, not a kid's show. Here, this review. Obviously, we're using same language they would use in the show. Yes. So hopefully, you're not watching Game of Thrones, which is not for kids.
Oh, at this point, definitely not. If you got through the earlier seasons,
yes,
with the amount of sex scenes in the earlier 3 seasons or so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's a great dynamic between the two of them.
Yes.
And he does realize that he literally is cuckoo for Brienne Tarth. He's head over heels in love with Brienne.
I like large women.
And he's talking about how they're going to have huge monster children. Talking about his offspring with her. He's like, I'm going to make it back so I can get down with Brienne.
And he's like, you know her?
And he says to him, right? He's like, the one that looks like she wants to skin you alive? And he's like,
you have met her.
Yeah, he's like, you have met her. So the Hound is like, you're crazy. You're crazy. So, and then we finally come upon Arya and Sansa.
The weird
Sansa's snooping, nosy self, right?
Yes.
She's pulling like a little finger, but in a bad form, right? Like beginner little finger, and figures, oh, I'll go snoop in my little sister's room.
And what are these faces?
Big mistake, right?
All I see is faces. Can't see these faces, yo.
Big mistake. I mean, not only the fact that she's sitting there going through the bag, but Arya is just like, she's just there. Yeah. Like, we don't hear door open.
No,
we don't hear nothing.
She's just there.
There.
That's how you're a trained assassin. No one hears you coming.
She's like, my superpower, you'll never hear me coming.
Yes.
Which, who says that in a movie I didn't think was all that great?
I just went blank on that one, though.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 was...
the Mandarin says that.
That was a disappointment.
Never see it coming.
Disappointment.
Anyway, sorry, let me go back to something else. I digress. So yeah, the huge dynamic between Arya and Sansa, right? So what's your take on that?
Arya basically told Sansa, if you're not with us, you're gonna be a face in my bag. Basically.
Right? She's like, let's play the game of lies. And I was like, oh snaps.
Yeah,
and then I like how she takes out the dagger. I'm like, is she gonna cut her face out? Because she pretty much told her, she's like, all I need is your face.
I want to wear pretty dresses and whatnot. I'm like,
yeah, she's like, I always wanted to like to wear pretty dresses. So I was like,
oh, gonna just take over?
Started doing this to my TV. I'm like, you gonna get her? Get her? Because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't feel like they really need Sansa. Like, I feel like I kind of back what Arya was saying. She is a bit of a traitor to the family. I know Jon would forgive her, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Jon has good family ties, so
even though he's not a Stark.
You know, he's adopted. He doesn't know he's adopted, so
right.
You know, it happens.
So yeah, but she just like very chillingly gives her like, you know, the possibility, and then hands her the dagger.
Hands her the dagger, like if you want if you want to go, you can go, but it's not gonna turn out well for you.
Like, I could cut your face off. I'll give you this dagger. What can you do?
Yeah.
Right. So that was pretty interesting.
Well, because I mean, too, she knows that she can't do anything because she saw her fight Bran of Tarth a couple episodes ago, and was just like, oh,
like, she's good.
Yeah, like, oh, like she basically can beat her.
Let me backtrack for just a moment too. I forgot that whole moment where Sansa and Littlefinger are talking too, right?
Yes.
So Littlefinger is clearly planting. He's the one who plants the seeds of doubt in her, which causes her to go into the room. So
he's always working. So he's always has power and control over whoever's in charge, and that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
So he's trying to always get with Sansa because he wants to be king, and that's why probably why he wants her to be Queen of the North.
Exactly. So he can try to become king, and in a really weird kind of creepy way.
Because he loves his mother so much, and now he wants to be with her daughter.
I don't know if Sansa's ever realized that, because obviously we all saw them kiss in the previous season. So I don't know. That's really weird.
Jon already gave him that speech, like, if you ever touch Sansa, son.
Oh yeah, that was pretty awesome.
He was like, if you ever touch my sister, you're out. I'm taking you out. There's no questions asked. You're gone.
Done. See, and everyone knows that everyone respects Jon. So if Jon did it, everyone would be like,
oh,
get that food.
Yeah, Jon's like, he's dead. He was bad. I was like, okay, cool, Jon.
We didn't like him anyways.
He was like, you said he was bad?
Littlefinger is like that friend that kind of tags along with everybody, and he's good. He has it in good with like the bouncer.
Yeah.
So you guys stay friends with him. But if you lost him, it wouldn't really be like, that big of a deal. He's like, I guess we lost the hookup. Yeah. We all got enough money to get in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right. And then, so moving forward from there, because I just can't wait to see what happens there.
Yeah.
Because Sansa is obviously very tense, and she's like, oh my gosh, my sister might kill me.
Yeah.
And then Arya's like, I won't really kill you. Maybe.
Maybe. But I have all these faces, so you never know who's me or not.
Exactly. And I almost thought she kept the face of Homeboy from the red.
Oh, from the Red Wedding?
Did she still have his face?
Probably.
I thought that was the first face
I think she still has his face.
She was like, what is
from
this?
the beginning of the season, when she first killed all of them.
It totally looked like she still had his face.
Killed all the house.
So, not 100% sure. She might just be been collecting faces on her journeys. Yeah. I mean, we don't even know. She could have took all those guys' faces
that was sitting in that little fire campfire.
Yeah, that little group of people. Like, I mean, she could have took all their faces for all we know.
Yeah.
I mean, she's G like that. So, and then we go back. They're over the wall. They're just trekking along, and they run into wildlife. Oh my gosh!
Nice little.
So, I don't know about you, but they're like, "Oh, it's a bear."
I thought.
Right?
I thought it was gonna be like a white wolf at first.
Yes, I was expecting wolves. So the main group is pretty calm.
Yeah.
But then we see the guy who's out in the lead clearly is freaked out, right?
Yes.
And so I'm thinking, how big is that bear? Because he is freaked out, right?
And then you see the blue eyes.
And then what happens as he's almost back to them? Oh,
yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, okay.
Like, you didn't make it. Dang, son. And then like, he just snatched him and then disappeared into like the snow. And it was like,
this is a blood trail.
And it was like, and John's like, that was just here.
Swords. And then we see the what we saw in the trailer multiple times, which they finally circle up, right? Yes. And they're prepared to hopefully stand off whatever is about to attack them, right? They're hoping to keep whatever this took one of their party members at bay, which clearly an undead, huge polar bear. I mean, polar bears are big already. This thing was like ginormous.
Yes.
You know what I reminded me of? Have you ever seen The Revenant?
Yes.
So, whoever hasn't seen this scene yet, or maybe you haven't seen The Revenant, or if you have, what I was thinking was, okay, Revenant times 10
on fighting.
Times 10 on fighting capability and like hugeness, because that bear in that movie is huge too, and he goes to town on him. So, and this bear is just having his way with pretty much everybody, right?
Yes.
And Ian so eloquently told me why the Hound was acting like such a punk.
Yes, because they set the polar bear on fire with their flaming swords. Flaming swords is kind of cool. They kind of just like hand over sword, flames, like just from nowhere, which I kind of, that's a cool ability. You just make fire appear when you
in
feel
my mind,
like
I thought, flame on.
Yeah, so he was frozen. And the reason why he's frozen because he sees this big, huge flaming bear running at him, and he's basically having flashbacks of the flame on my face.
He didn't want to get kissed again.
Yes, but he couldn't move because he was paralyzed in fear of the flames. And then his boy comes in and was like, "I got you."
Yeah. So Thoros of More is like, "I got this, son. Flame sword. Oh shit, this bear is strong." So, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stop him from biting me by putting my sword right here
in his face, in his mouth."
Didn't seem to really help much, right?
Yeah.
All it did is kind of catch him on fire more, and it like spread to the back more, and then the Hound was like,
"Oh, it's fire! It's fire!"
I'm like, "Oh, really? We're gonna play the fire card?"
Yeah. And then it bit him in like
in the chest. So
and it just dragged him around.
I'm trying to figure out how he didn't die from that, right? Because it looked like it bit him like here, and then from here. And it was like dragging him around.
Well, I think part of it might have got like his armor, and then one part actually went in.
Oh, okay.
And so it was just dragging him around and whipping around, and then finally let him go, and he put the sword back.
And weren't there other people in the party?
Yeah,
there's one polar bear. Everyone was like watching this
Everyone's just watching it happen. Eventually, someone comes over and was like, "Now you died."
It's like you're watching a star basketball player like cross someone over, like, "Yeah, do work, son. Do work."
Like, you got this. You got that by yourself. Don't worry.
Go to work, son.
You'll survive. You got this.
Ooh, he missed that jumper. In this case, cookies. Right? He had no chance.
No.
So that was kind of sad to see. Amazingly though, apparently this dude's like a drunken master, because he's like pouch or wine or something.
Yeah, they gave him the wine. Well, they gave him the wine, and then the flaming sword, basically on the wound to stop the bleeding.
Cauterized it.
Yeah.
So
it was just like, and he's like, "You're good."
But I was trying to figure out why he wanted the wine. So I'm like,
the pain.
Is this good? Yeah. At first I'm like,
does
this fool have some kind of power where the Lord Light heals him when he drinks wine? Like the drunker he is.
Yeah, because it was like, he got the wine, and he's like, "Wait, no, I need some more." And then he just drinks it, and you're like, "Okay, what's he gonna do?" And then it was like flame sword.
Yes, and then the only reason why I was thinking that is that the wine was like his power is because the Mormont had said, "Oh, I remember when he charged at this battle or something, and he was so drunk he didn't even remember that he did it." But he was like thought he was the most heroic person. So I'm like, is this fool like invincible when he drinks
or something? Yeah.
So apparently not.
No.
Clearly not.
No.
And he was screaming away because he's having his wounds cauterized by this huge flaming sword. And then we come upon the rest of the
first group, like that. The first group. The first group they came across was like a smaller group. They're like, where's the rest of them? Mm-hmm.
Right, it has to be more. And they set up that small trap, and they ambushed them.
Yes.
They're fighting, and Jon Snow was like, "Wah!"
Real...
and drops homeboy.
Yeah, the captain White Walker.
And then for some reason, all but one
drops.
Get destroyed.
Which they had a theory on the show is I guess he turned all the ones that were there.
But the one.
So I'm guessing the one he didn't turn, and they were just with that group. And that's probably why he didn't disintegrate and just drop like all the rest of them.
Yeah, so not sure why that is, but it looked like that one was actually trying to get back, maybe.
Yeah, or
like to
run back.
Report like, oh hey, everyone's dead.
And then it does that.
Take them out.
Then while they hold it down, it does that scream.
To try to alert them.
To alert everything. So, and everyone's like, oh, it's screaming, and then you hear the noise, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, and everyone eventually makes it over there, like, oh, because at first, I thought they were going to try to outrun an avalanche. Because I don't know if you noticed it, like up in the back, the mountains.
Well, that was
it was coming down.
That was the White Walkers.
Yeah, that was their presence. That was them coming closer. But at first, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, are they gonna have to outrun an avalanche? Because if so, there's no way they are screwed.
But then they told Gendry to get back to the wall.
So Gendry to run
and send a raven.
Which I don't know about you, but I always think about this stuff in my mind. I'm like, so at one point in time, did they have a race to figure out who was the fastest?
Well, they figured he's the youngest.
He's got to be the fastest.
He's the youngest.
Right?
He's not the big, so he probably has more stamina, and he's been
he
can go,
biggest, right?
Yeah, and then Snow's not leaving, and the rest of some people aren't gonna leave because they want to fight. So they figured, take the young boy, you go run because you're young. So go ahead and get that.
And so he runs off. Literally doesn't look like he stops running until he almost passes out in front of the wall, which is crazy. And they pull him in, of course, and he's like, "Send the raven, the raven." And we'll flash back because he's basically telling them, "Hey, tell Dany we need help. Bring your dragons."
Yes.
So we'll go back to where they're on this like island, basically.
Yes.
Which was odd because like just randomly.
Well, it's like a rock in the middle of like would be a lake, frozen. Right? Well, it's a lake, but now the lake is frozen, so it's just this rock in the middle of the lake.
I do like the way it was set up. It was very believable because when they step on the ice at first, right, starts to crack and you're like, well, it's gonna break eventually. Yeah. And then there's just like thousands of White Walkers.
So they all run onto the island. They run out there like, well, if we gotta run out there and it falls, well, at least we have a chance. And then the White Walkers fall.
So conveniently, as they're being chased, all the White Walkers start falling in.
So they just stay on that little island waiting because now they're surrounded by White Walkers on the island, all waiting for them to either leave or just freeze to death.
Exactly. Which, unfortunately, we do lose a character.
Yes.
Who's been around? He's been around for a while. So spoiler: Thuris dies. The one that got bit by the bear.
Like his wounds and the cold. Yes. It was like he froze to death or just bled out.
And he was like I think too injured to move around. So he was the only one that was laying there like completely flat on his back the whole night, and I think he just froze to death. Yeah. So. To which Jon Snow instructs them. We gotta burn the body.
We gotta burn him now. And like the hound's drinking alcohol. Like, no, we gotta pour on him. And they're like, well, why waste the wine if you have a fire? What are you talking about?
Flame on.
Flame on.
Right. So saves him from coming back as a White Walker, having to fight him. And then of course, if we fast forward, the hound for some reason.
Well, before that, they get the raven to Dany.
Yes.
You get the raven to Dany,
and then you see
Tyrion
pleading with Dany basically not to go, saying he doesn't want to, hope there's no losses.
Yeah. Doesn't want anything happen to her.
Doesn't want anything happen to her.
He's asking what happens to her. Who's next? Who's next in line?
Who's next in the lineage? Because technically she believes that she's barren and she can't have children. So who would everyone else follow after that?
Yes. So who's gonna lead if she dies? Who's gonna lead? And who can lead and who can control these dragons?
Exactly.
So if she's not there, there's nothing to control them, and what are we gonna do? All hope is lost if you die. You are the hope of everybody here. so don't put yourself in danger. And she's like, well, there's too many people that are important to her on that island. Well, Snow is now.
She was listening to him before, and by doing nothing, she felt that they just started losing. So she wasn't going to take his advice anymore. True. So she was like, I'm out, son.
I'm a dragon. Be a dragon.
I mean, more like a bird, right?
That was weird.
That was really bad.
That was like more day in the time.
I don't have a dragon impression ready. Next video I will.
Okay.
So again, fast forwarding. We'll go to they're in dire strait, kind of, so to speak, because the Hound, for some reason,
is throwing rocks.
Is getting like fidgety and irritable and decides, you know what? I fucking hate these White Walkers. I'm gonna throw a rock at your face. So he throws a rock, hits him, knocks the jaw off. Apparently that's not good enough for the Hound.
No.
So he looks for a larger rock, tries to hurl it at the exact same White Walker, and he misses.
Or pulls it short, I guess you would say.
Yes, throws it short, so to speak. No pun intended, Tyrion.
That's my boy, though.
And it lands
right in front of the White Walker. And they're like, oh, the water has frozen over.
So the rock's on top. Does that mean I can walk on it?
Let's try.
Slowly but surely, we start to see more and more White Walkers start to descend towards the island because they're like, hey, I guess you can walk on it. And then all of a sudden, it's full-blown charge. Yes. And they're sitting trying to defend themselves. And when all hope seems to be lost.
Well, they're basically pushed back to the little edge of the little island.
And Jon Snow takes up long...
Because there's part climbing up from the back. And they're all over coming up from the back.
And he's ready to swing it down. He ducks.
Fire everywhere.
Fire, flame everywhere. And we have dragons. Awesome scene again.
Danny and the dragons just burning and all the White Walkers alive. Everywhere. Just basically turning the ice to water.
Now, obviously, I know for story's sake, Jon couldn't yell out, flame on the ones on the horses!
Yeah, take the ones on the horses! They're the leaders! You kill them!
Burn them! Right?
Whole thing solved.
And then we have no more Game of Thrones. Happy ending. Yay! Well, I technically speaking, right?
Still Cersei.
At least no more White Walkers, though, right? The major threat is gone.
Yeah, we
don't have to worry about anything else. They're all dead. End of story on them. New chapter. Let's just focus on Cersei, right?
Yes.
So obviously, I know that they could have done that. Obviously, they did not for story's sake. But she's sitting there, like, having the dragons shoot all kinds of fire.
Yes.
And then they land.
One lands.
One lands.
Her favorite.
Of course, the one she's riding.
Yes.
And the first thing she does is extend her hand out to Jon Snow. Right?
And he can't reach. Or no, because he gets ready to, and a White Walker runs up and charges him. He's like, oh, not today, son.
And so he decides that it's best for him
to distract the Walkers while everyone else
goes them off while everyone else starts to load. Now, here's the thing I was explaining to Ian that I did not like about this scenario, but I guess it makes sense for the eventual setup of what they end up doing, is Jon Snow marches off further and further away from the dragon.
Instead of defending, he gets aggressive.
He gets very aggressive. So he's like, I guess he feels empowered, right? The dragon's there or something.
They're on the ropes, I guess.
Whatever reason.
He's infatuated with the Night King because he's looking at the Night King.
He's going in that general direction. And he kind of forgot that he should be going back towards the dragon after everyone gets loaded up. And, of course, the Night King's like...
Yeah, his boy walks over and was like, oh, these dragons have a problem. Hey, I got something for you. I got something for you, son. You the javelin champion. Get this work.
and the Night King was like, shim shim, shim shim.
And he walks through the fire and was like, check this arm real quick. Oh, that one.
And he has like perfect form, by the way, right? He's got the arm out. He's aiming.
He's like,
hook
him,
right?
Ah, right there.
And I was pointing this out to Ian as well, that I thought it was interesting that this dragon gets hit in almost the exact same spot as Dany's main dragon.
Yes.
However, the scorpion's spear wasn't strong enough to go all the way through. It only ends up like in the upper shoulder area.
Yeah, it's like kind of like right between the wing and right there.
But this ice spear looks like it literally penetrates all the way through and maybe even stops maybe like somewhere in the middle of like
yeah, you can see the fire stop from coming out of its mouth to out the side of its actual body.
Yeah,
and it just screams, and you can just hear the other dragon scream in horror, and everyone look at horror as you see one of this massive dragon just crash into the ice.
Right. Fantastic beasts and where to find them.
Yes, under the water now.
Ooh. So that was kind of a heartbreaking moment, yes. I'm sure, for majority of the fans.
Yes. And then Danny's just looking in horror as one of her, as she takes the dragons as her children. So yes. One of her kids is now down.
Right? Down for the count.
Yes.
That dragon is not going to get back up anytime soon, at least not alive.
Yes.
So, bum bum bum.
Which I had a theory before the season started about.
Which was we were talking about that, right? We were like ice dragons, and I was like, well, what if the ice dragons are White Walker? It's like, and I was like, you know, what would be the stupidest thing that she could do? I remember telling you this. The stupidest thing she could do would be to go over there and then end up having one of them get killed.
Well, as I said, if one of them dies, it's probably going to be brought back to life as a ice dragon or a White Walker dragon.
Right. So that was like the, I don't know, huge like, haha, we were right moment, at least for me when I was watching it. I texted Ian, I was like, ha, we called that one 100%. And then he texted me back like, LOL. And I think he sent me a GIF or something, like kind of like, yep, that's pretty much, we were spot on. So, you know, they eventually do get away. Yes. Although Jon Snow was like, get out of here.
Well, he sees the Night King loading up another spear. Like, oh, you guys gonna wait right here? I'm going to take this one out too. And Jon Snow's like, you guys need to go because you're about to get hit with another spear. So you need to go now.
Exactly. So as they're getting ready to take off, right?
Yeah.
Jon Snow gets gang tackled by White Walkers and falls down into the water. Which you're like, oh well, he's done for, right?
Possibly. I'm like, I don't
pretty
know
much thinking that it's very likely he's gonna be done for.
And they see that and they're going, well, we can't do anything for him now, and they take off.
And he tries. The Night King tries one more time to hit him. Thankfully, this dragon's able to dodge.
He's like, nah, son.
He's like,
I've already been hit by something before. I know how to dodge this now. Not today. Not today.
And so he doesn't get hit. So they get away.
Yes.
So, and then it's crazy scene of them making it back to the wall.
Yeah.
And we see the two dragons she now has.
Yes.
Are circling the wall.
Yes.
And Danny is looking down, and everyone's like, Your Majesty.
Well, before that, Snow climbs out.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Snow climbs out of the little hole. You don't figure out what happened underwater, but he climbs out, and he's just kind of like, you know, laying there, freezing to death, basically, after fighting underwater, ice cold water, you know, surrounded by snow, and he's basically walking back out to shore, even though I felt like he walked the wrong direction, but that's just me, behind the whole group of White Walkers, and he gets to shore, and they just turn around and go, oh, you're still alive? Guess we gotta go finish that.
And he prepares himself to fight off what he thinks is going to probably be his last stand against many White Walkers coming to him. Pretty much the entire army that's left over is charging Jon Snow at this point. And through it all comes a lone marauder on a horse swinging this fire, what would you call that, like chain thing or whatever you call that.
Yeah.
Ball and chain, so to speak. And it's like
on fire and flames and just doing work.
Of course, he pulls his mask back. Uncle Benjen?
Yes.
Right? And Uncle Benjen like just tells him really quick, get on the horse, go. We don't have time for this. Get out of here.
Yes.
To which there's lots of arguments that could be made there. We kind of had a small one before.
Yeah, like he could have
got
got
on the horse too. But I was like, well, we don't know. Jon Snow was basically freezing at this point. Maybe Benjen thought if he was on the horse too, maybe he wouldn't make it back in time.
Might slow him down.
Might slow him down.
Or something like
maybe
that.
The White Walkers would get him, or maybe overall he would get back too slow, and then Jon would freeze to death.
Yes.
Because to him being dead, there was no way he was going to be able to offer any kind of warmth to him.
Well, I mean, he still had fire, which I thought he could probably use because he had mace on fire. But,
maybe.
You know, that's just logical thinking at a time like that.
All right. So, and then plus I was telling Ian that Uncle Benjamin had already pretty much decided like, hey, like I'd rather die.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of stuck in limbo here.
Yeah.
And we figure that he's helped both of his family members. He helped Bran,
Yes.
and he's helped Jon now. I mean,
he's
he
like,
really
I fulfilled what I need to do,
Yeah.
so I will go out, basically helping Jon Snow get away.
In a blaze of glory.
In a blaze of glory.
So that was kind of interesting. I'm sure there were probably better ways. I mean, I could think of a couple different better ways that he could have went out.
I thought the little fire was gonna blow up right before he died or something like that.
Yeah, because I was still trying to figure out how it went out and then it started up again.
Yeah.
Right. I was not sure how he was lighting that. So whatever. Movie. TV land magic. Right. It lights on and off whenever he wants
like
it to.
Like the sword. You just flame
yeah,
on.
Exactly.
Flame on.
Time. I mean, we're talking about a show with dragons, so putting logic into it sometimes.
Dragons and characters that have died multiple times. So
yeah,
I mean,
so logic
they can do whatever they want to at this point right now.
Yeah, logic can get tossed out the window. So like we were saying, so Dany.
Yes, Dany was waiting for basically someone to appear, either her dragon or Snow, basically waiting, and they're like, it's time to go, and she's just like, a little bit longer, just a little bit longer, and as she turns to get ready to walk away, you see something come out of the little forest, riding on a horse, and it is
Jon Snow. On Uncle Benjamin's horse.
Yes.
And so obviously everyone's excited, everyone's happy, yada yada yada. They take him in, and then we'll fast forward just a little bit, and we go to the boats, which
yes.
they have placed Jon Snow in already. They've pretty much stripped him of everything. Yes. During this little striptease,
Dany sees the wounds on his body that he got from,
and she gets surprisingly like excited by that.
Or like she I think she might kind of realize it when we talked about, remember earlier, about being stabbed in the heart, and she's like, oh, that actually might be true.
He's suffered, he's gone through some things,
yeah,
and he's not this little bastard who is like, I'm king, follow me, right? She can see that he's been through some things, obviously, just like she has,
but that he doesn't talk about. Like he doesn't bring up the fact that he's been stabbed and has multiple stab wounds all through his chest.
Betrayed by almost all of the Night's Watch.
Yes.
Including Ollie, of all people. Damn you, Ollie. Thought we were boys, son.
Yeah.
We'll let you get extra rations. So, he wakes up, and lo and behold, who's watching over him? Dany. Right there.
Yes.
Right by his side.
And they have a moment.
They touch hands, hold hands for quite some time, actually.
Yes, because Jon Snow tells him he's sorry about the whole situation, that we shouldn't have went over the wall in the first place, and everything like that. And then she's just kind of like looking at him like, okay, there might be something here. And then she goes to pull her hand away, and he kind of holds it a little tighter.
Yeah. And
then he says something about about her being a queen to his king.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
And then he finally brings it up that he's going to bend the knee.
But he can't really stand right
because of his situation. And she grabs his hand back, again, tighter.
Yes.
And I think it seems like she kind of realizes that maybe she's doing too much right now.
Yeah.
Because she's not sure, like, oh, should I be feeling this way? Should I be vulnerable like this? This man just basically finally gave in to me. Should I be thinking about this right now? So we everyone, I'm sure everyone in Fanland is like, all right, they're about to, okay, and she lets go.
So let's go and leaves.
But before she does that, though, she makes that brief comment about how she's not able to have kids.
Yes.
Which I thought was kind of, I don't know.
Weird right there at this point.
Yeah, like
she's already thinking about, if we end up together, I can't give you an heir.
It'd be like you're on date 5, and the girl's like, by the way, I can't have kids. Yes. And you're like,
okay.
So are we gonna get down?
Okay, good to know.
So I guess that's good to know. Yes. But it was kind of awkward the way they threw it out there.
Yeah.
But it had its meaning, right? It was kind of her way of letting him know, like, hey, just so you know what you're getting into, this is my current state. Like, if if you're still interested, basically. So, and then we slowly pan back
to the ice. And there's a hole in the ice.
And we see tons of White Walkers
with 3 chains.
This massive chain over their shoulders, right?
Yes.
Like huge. Like it's probably. First of all, I want to know where the heck they got these chains from.
They just had these 3 massive chains.
Bring out the chains, yo.
Yo, the 3 massive chains just come from everywhere.
And I mean, these are giant, enormous chains.
It would make sense they're like made out of ice.
Like
they were like steel.
Like maybe a tugboat or something like that. It's like something massive, like a huge ship would have these chains on them. But they just happen to have them.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're tied around a very large object which is in the water.
And they're just pulling it.
Dragon.
They're pulling the dragon out, and I'm like, this is really gonna happen right now. This really is gonna happen right now. And you see the Night King walk over to the dragon, and he's just kind of like. And you're just like.
And then we see the eye. We see the eye open.
But it's blue.
Right? So that was pretty crazy. I'm sure that was a chilling moment for some people.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, so I was kind of like, oh. And I'm like, they're gonna end it right here. And sure enough, it fades to black. And so I was kind of upset with that. Yes. So I was like, no. So.
But the walkers now have a dragon. Night King is gonna be flying on a dragon.
Right. He now has his own mount. So we might see a head-to-head collision.
So the Dragon Brothers will be fighting at some point.
Possibly, maybe because Dany's dragon is okay with Jon Snow, right?
Yes.
He doesn't mind that, that if he touches him, maybe he'll let him ride him.
I don't think he'll ride dragon because that's Dany's. But
never know.
They're cool. Maybe the other one.
Yeah. So you never know.
You never know.
Never know. But that leads a couple other possibilities, right? So number one, there's supposed to be an enchantment on the wall, and that's supposedly the reason why they haven't been able to get through.
But now if they fly over the wall,
if he flies over, he obviously can't bring all of them, but he can cause some damage, maybe enough. Maybe he can use a dragon to burn the wall.
Well, it's an ice dragon, so is it cold? So I heard a thing that it might be cold because
or is it blue flame?
Well, it'd be blue flame, but it would be like ice now.
I don't know.
Because everything they do basically involves ice and cold.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to breathe fire. So it's going to be some sort of variation of cold.
It'll be interesting to see, for sure.
Yes. But that would be, we do a preview.
And then there's the possibility of maybe Bran broke the enchantment on the wall by going through supposedly. So there's a whole nother video that we can do on follow up on that. So if you've been with us this long, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video.
Yes.
Also, if you feel like someone needs to see this,
everyone needs to see this,
or you just feel like sharing, feel free to go ahead and share out the video through your normal social media.
Share button you see down there. Hit that.
Down here.
Hit that.
Oh, this side. It'll probably be this side.
Right about
down
there.
This side, and I think the subscribe is on this side.
Hit both of them.
Click them.
Now and then like.
Yeah.
The thumbs up.
Because that helps.
Yes.
And subscribe if you haven't already.
Yes.
And we're out.
Peace.
Wait, did we say AI reviews? I think we did.
What? AI reviews?